Picasso has done it. The Dutch copra painter Eugène Brands did it. And if you searched on YouTube, you would find a procession of creative people who do it, painting with light. Artists and light go together, and that's always been so. What would have been a prehistoric cave artist without a torch? Though we know very little of his method, one thing is certain. He will certainly not have made his representations of fearsome animals in full darkness on the walls of the deep dark cave. In many ways, light plays a very important role in our society. Sometimes she is very noticeable, other times just so common that she almost no longer stands out. An object or creature can be present, but light draws it out of the darkness and reveals it to the spectator. She has so many features and is an indispensable part of our society. We notice that it is there, where it illuminates something, but we don't see the light itself. She is malleable, but literally remains elusive. Light stands at the base of the visual perception. It is the light that lifts something or someone from out of the darkness and reveals them to the spectator. And she is the source of energy. But how important is light actually within the museum world? An important goal of museum lighting is that the visitor should be able to see the exhibits in an inviting and attractive, well-lit room. Usually, the focus in the lighting design is on the illumination of the objects. But to get the right emotion and feelings from visitors, the lighting of the space in which they find themselves is equally important. The general lighting in the space largely determines what kind of accent lighting is possible. The use of contrasts and direction of the light can invoke a sense of drama. Lux values and color temperature also play an important role. For example, can the wrong color temperature change the perception of the beholder? And can the behavior of light on the surface of paintings affect the experience of the spectators? These and more questions we proposed to Elle Hendricks, head conservator of the Van Gogh Museum. To Agnes Brokerhoff, specialist in risk management, conservation and restoration at the National Cultural Heritage. And to Jonneke Kloosterziel, autonomous artist.
Ella, wat denk je? Hoe belangrijk was lichten voor Vincent van Gogh?
Light was extremely important for Vincent van Gogh, and it was one of the reasons that he moved to the south towards France, because of the light landscape which he knew would create much more vivid colours, and he started to translate that directly in the colour use in his paintings.
Heeft de licht een bepaalde invloed op zijn manier van werken gehad?
I think the most important influence he had was his perception of colour. It's not that he started working in a different way or using it under particular light conditions, but it totally, we revolutionised in a way his ideas about colour and ways of mixing colour and applying them in his paintings.
Je bent de restaurator van het Van Gogh Museum. Hoe kijk je naar de kleuren en de pigmenten van de schilderijen?
We can safely say that the paintings nowadays look completely different than when they were made, particularly the ones made in France with this brighter palette, because a lot of the colours that he used are fugitive and sensitive to light and have changed in the passage of time.
Dus heeft de licht in die opzicht een belangrijke rol gespeeld?
Light is damaging for paintings. Some pigments in particular, some colours are sensitive to light. So some types of yellow, for example, will darken under influence of light, whereas some types of red pigment will fade and eventually disappear altogether.
En wat kan eigenlijk een lichtontwerp doen om te zorgen dat de schilderijen goed zichtbaar zijn?
The light designer is a very important person in trying to find this balance between showing pictures in the best way possible and whilst limiting damage caused by light exposure. They do this, there are many different factors that they can use, but one of them is choosing the right type of lamp with the correct spectrum that is not harmful for the painting but gives the right colour rendering. They can also play with lighting around the painting, so in the surroundings, in a way that means that we need to direct less light onto the picture itself. So they're really a very important figure in this whole